Referees are a problem in the Premier League. How did Brighton play today? And lots of other discussions. Now, for a start, we're going to start quite simply with the standard of refereeing. When's it going to stop? I'll tell you what, I've got to get my microphone on so you guys can hear me properly, because I don't know how it's going to sound, because usually it sounds absolutely horrible. So let me just plug this in real quick. I forgot to do it. And I'm going to pull up live chat on the PC this time. We're going to moderate it like that. And then we're going to get underway. You know what? I'm so disappointed. It's unbelievable. Right. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. Connect this up and I can talk to you about that. And the reason we ain't got the matchday vlog out today is because we're just not going to do it. Right, okay. What we're going to do is going to go to my channel, going to make sure that my live stream is up here. Yes, it is. Okay. Right, here we are. Close that. Oh, bloody, I tell you what, Google pop-ups really wind me up. Anyway, so where do I start? Okay, so refereeing is absolutely unbelievable. 4 missed penalty decisions. It's absolutely outrageous. How do you be that bad? How can you not see that? I don't know who the referee was that game, but it's unbelievable. How have we not got 4 penalties? 4 penalties. Every time one of their players went down, free kick, foul, whatever. One of their players, like for instance, one of them fell over, yellow card to Mitoma. Listen, the refereeing standards in the Premier League are just not right. When are they going to solve them? Top 4 clubs, Champions League clubs, when are they going to stop getting a decision? Especially Tottenham Hotspur. I know they're not in Europe, but they had loads of decisions recently which have predicted them from, well, potentially going to concede penalties. And then West Ham United today, there were 2 penalties, I think, which should have happened, which included handball, 1 push, and I can't remember at the top of my head. There was one including a kick in the back of the leg, which is just absolutely shocking. I cannot believe it. I mean, how appalling was that refereeing? And the thing, we didn't play bad. We didn't even play bad. It's genuinely the fact we were too scared to take shots. Listen, if we would take shots that game, I can guarantee you we would have won it, but we don't, and that's the problem when you're not starting players like Adingra. When you start Adam Webster, what was he doing at the sideline? He just kicks it in. He's trying to get too smart with the opponent, and that is the problem with this football club. It is going to change. I really hope so. Will Van Hecker get started over Webster? Believe me, I hope absolutely 100% that he starts against Newcastle, because that was unacceptable from Webster. Unacceptable. It should be a much higher level. And you know what? I'm going to set up a poll here. Webster, hang on. Let me set it up real quick. I'm going to move that out. Okay. Start a poll. What's going to happen? Okay. Who's better? So let's see. Who's better? Webster, which, by the way, he is not, or Van Hecker? Because honestly, I think Van Heck's miles clears in a minute. Right. Who is... Yeah, cool. Ask your community. There you are. That's for you to decide. Who's better, Adam Webster or Van Heck? Personally, I'm just gonna have to stick with Adam Webster. It's so clear to me that Webster is miles clear. Not Webster, Van Hecker. Look, I'm even getting mixed up with what I'm saying because of how appalling this is, and it's something us Albion fans have got to sit through, and we got to listen, and we got to get mocked by opponent football clubs now. After that, it wasn't bad. I'm not going to lie, the performance wasn't bad. But if we were to take shots, take our chances, it could have been way better. It could have been 3-3. It could have been 4-3. And on top of that, if we had the decisions correct, no matter if we scored any of the goals, which I'm saying we should have, it still would have been 4-3 to 4-5-3 to us. And no matter what happened, we would have won most likely. Because remember, João Pedro, he doesn't miss penalties. He's so good. Evan Ferguson, I mean, there was one particular moment in there where he should have been watching the goalkeeper. He had his back turned to him. That was absolutely outrageous. You've got to look at the keeper. You've got to watch it every move. Right, I'm going to change to live chat, see if anyone's been in there. No, unfortunately not. But do you guys get where I'm coming from? I personally believe strongly, very strongly, that we should have won that, because West Ham okay, they were very good defensively. They were very good defensively. But with that many decisions against us, it was truly heartbreaking to see, absolutely shocking. And I'm furious. I'm absolutely bloody furious at that refereeing. Nobody has actually spoken out about it, which it makes me even more annoyed because where is everyone? Yeah, exactly. Get Webster out of here, Mini Raptor God. You're absolutely spot on there. Get him out because that was absolutely shocking. He tried to get smart. He kicked it back in play. I mean, for a start, who kicks the ball, when the ball's going out of play, who kicks it back in play just so the opponents can go and score? Overall, why has he gotten to the point where he can defend, but why has he gotten to the point where he'll just pass the opponent, provide assists, and, you know, why is he performing like that? Why doesn't he just go out there and show, you know, the sort of monster we accept at Brighton? I got Julio, he's not being used, for example. Adingra, another one, he's not starting games, and these two players, I think, can be crucial to the Albion. I got Julio's got to start next game, he's got to, because, and Adingra. Adingra, when he came on, I feel he lined up a little bit, he created chances, and we were quite literally the better team for most of the game. I think we all know that, I think that's understood. I think we had like 80% possession, something like that. It's outrageous how much possession we had. But João Pedro should start too. Yeah, I mean, I'm mixed with Pedro because I haven't really... The only goals he's been scoring recently are penalties, which, you know, is fair enough. He's been consistently putting the ball in the back of the net. But with Pedro, he's still got to prove himself for me. And, I mean, he probably will be the sort of guy to kill off games, and especially when we're drawing with sides like West Ham. But West Ham were 3-0 up, and that's the point. The point is, we didn't defend properly, and refereeing was absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. I can go on all night about that. Now we're going to start with the negatives. So, refereeing for a start, absolutely outrageously bad. I think we covered that. Defence, I think we're more open. I just think we're so open, and it's just shocking. How do us, Brighton Hove Albion, Europa League, we're a Europa League team, do we expect to play like that in Europa League and get away with it? Because I genuinely don't. We are going to get caught at the back so easily by playing that sort of thing at the back. Roberto De Zerbi was fuming. We zoomed in our phones on him, and he was absolutely fuming. He wasn't having it, and you know what, fair play to him. But to be fair with you, he's got to tell them players, and to be fair with you, he's got to turn to play, but he's also got to make them substitutions a bit sooner. He's got to start certain players, which are, to be fair, in my opinion, he hasn't started the right sort of people recently. Like, even when we started off against Luton, first half was terrible. When the substitutions came on, that's when it started kicking. Roberto has got to get the lineups right. West Ham's first ever time beating us in the Premier League. You know what? Congratulations. But we should have had that because of the referee. He should start using the youngsters like yeah, exactly. And again, spot on with it. Adingra has got to play. Adingra's got to play because he is outrageous. We all know how good he is. That double he scored against Brentford, the goal he scored against Luton. These are all things which... And he's so pacey. He's so quick. I mean, it's like some person running up against a Lamborghini. They're going to lose to him. I mean, the thing is, fair play. It's fair play to West Ham. You know, they came out, defended well. I just don't like the fact that they built out the way they did, dived on the floor constantly, got free kicks. Every time we go down, absolutely nothing. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it with negatives. On positive note, we were very possession-based, like usual. What we weren't doing, however, is turning that possession to goals, because possession does not win you games at all. 26 shots. We only scored one. I don't like how West Ham play, neither do I, because that was absolutely shocking. They 100% paid the ref. They 100% paid the ref. I don't know, who was the referee, people? Who was the referee? I think, I don't know if it's Kevin Friend. I think he left the league, didn't he? It's either him or Anthony Taylor, someone like that. It was someone shit like him. To be honest with you, terrible, because, well, yeah, Anthony Taylor. Yeah, I knew it. Anthony Taylor, absolute brat. Absolute prat. Anthony Taylor, I hope you got your money's worth, lad, because you can just frig off back to Liverpool where you belong. Yeah, I think he's the one from Merseyside. Yeah. Well, I don't think many people like Anthony Taylor, West Ham United fans. You know who you are. You know, like, I bet you liked Anthony Taylor that game. any other things I can cover? I mean, it's my first time doing a video like this. That's why I'm sort of stuttering, trying to figure out what to do. Usually I'll plan it out and all that, but because it's night time already, 8:50 as a matter of fact, I thought I'd just get out here, do whatever I can, and try and, you know, put on a decent show. One thing is as well, I think we've got to get the Amex going a little bit more. The atmosphere was, again, quite quiet, and that's what we've got to sort of work on. We've got to get it louder in there and, you know, get behind the players. Do you have any positive? Yeah, absolutely. The positives are, that we actually dominated the game. We're very possession-based, very entertaining. But what I'm trying to say is possession isn't what wins your game. Even if you're an entertaining football club, being entertaining ain't going to win your game. Man City, I mean, look at them, for instance. They're not necessarily entertaining, but they win games. That's what I'm trying to say here. Because when they play against teams like Brighton, they beat us like 4-1, whatever. You look at their stats, they have 10 shots, 4 goals. If Brighton were able to keep that consistency, we were able to get them shots off that goal, I think that way it'll be sorted. That way we would definitely find some more goals. Because fair enough to Areola, he made some big saves that game, but most of our shots just weren't good enough, to be honest with you. Pascal Gross goal, yeah, okay, I liked it, you know, a long-range strike, far corner. That's what I think we should do more. Try and shoot from outside the box, try and find that far corner. But nobody at the club has confidence, and a confidence issue is going to, you know, create a goal scoring issue. And believe me, I do not want to see Brighton get back into that. It's just one of them games, though. We're very inconsistent at getting wins, and I think everyone's starting to know that now with the Albion. I'm very interested to see what people are going to say about. I think I'm very interested to see how people predict Brighton Newcastle, because I don't think we're winning there at all. I did before this game week. Now I've just seen the way we played there. If we're not going to score, then what's the point in predicting a win? We miss Julio and Ciso's shots. Absolutely, yeah, no, brilliant. He is such a good player in Ciso, and it's such a shame to see him outperform because he would be absolutely vital in Newcastle. For some reason, some players just play really, really good under pressure. I personally think, and Ciso's that man, I personally think if he was to play today, even though he's injured, if he wasn't injured, right, forget the injury. If he was to play today, that midfield would have been a little bit better because he has a decent strike. He actually has the confidence to shoot from distance. And I saw Gilmore, he really wanted to shoot from distance. But everyone was saying, pass, pass, pass. He didn't know what to do, so he passed it. Sometimes you've got to listen to the fans. They're saying shoot. Sometimes they take that shot because they're telling you to shoot. They're not necessarily going to see you shoot and then go, why did you shoot? Because they asked you to shoot. Have a go. Get confident and have a go, because it's sad to see the fact we're not getting the shots off. It's shocking. I personally think we are a great team. Everyone knows that. Brighton and Hove Albion are a great football club. But to continue being a great football club, we've got to take chances, we've got to shoot, and we can't just keep rolling the ball around and thinking we know what to do. Because we were running around like a load of headless chickens. I mean, it was shocking at times, especially defensively. But one thing I did mention, actually, if I was doing a matchday vlog, you would have heard me say this, but I didn't for obvious reasons. I'd said basically we always get beaten on the left, or if someone's running up the right and they're through on goal with one defender on them, we always get beaten. So when I think it was Bowen who scored this. When Bowen scored, I think that's the chance it was, and I knew he was going to score because nobody misses those chances. You can't just get a beautiful touch like that and not go and finish it. Fair play to Bowen. What a goal that was, and he is on fire. But, yeah, these are things we've got to watch out for. Close the defence. Close the gaps in the defence. I can tell you, Roberto will not let them get away with this. I saw his reaction, and he was fuming. And that was a live reaction as well, because my dad had his phone out, zooming in at his face. And you could tell he was quite literally fuming, and he wanted it all to stop. To be completely honest with you, we should have just stopped. It felt like we stopped playing defensively all game, because think about how Bart Verbruggen feels about these defence. He's got to rely on them people to backtrack. Dunk made like 3 mistakes. Webster, he made the biggest mistake, and I think we all know that. I don't think he'll be dancing around in that change room celebrating, but Yeah, I feel bad for him. You feel bad if you're talking about Julio, then 100%. If he was there and he was playing, I think we would have had a very solid midfield. Midfield was all right, but again, it's just the fact that nobody will take that shot. You're 3-0 down and you're expecting to pass around and expect to get a goal off of it. And I noticed as well, Mitoma was following just really, really narrowly behind, I think it was Ferguson for one of the chances. And always crossed behind him. He's got to have space between him and Ferguson so he can go on and shoot it at the penalty spot. Because he's not just going to... The thing is, what if the ball goes behind Ferguson, then who's into rebound? And that's what Mitoma's got to think about. So that's another thing that was missed. And I don't think he had the best game today, Mitoma. Personally, I think he was all right. He was okay, but definitely not better than usual. When he played against Wolves, outstanding. When he played against Luton, played pretty well. Against West Ham, he was just okay. And that's all I'll say, just okay. I personally think he's just got to carry on what he did against Wolves. Run through him, try and do whatever you can. That's my screen glitching, it'll do that a bit. He's got to do whatever he can to stop the opponents. And it's just so hard to watch when the defence shows up like that. It was like, it just got shut down. And I could sit here and make jokes about that defence, but I'm not going to. I could genuinely sit here all day and just laugh at that because that was horrendous defending from us Albion boys. You know what I mean? It was shocking. I think whoever was there, and you're an Albion fan, I think everyone was like, get out, because we didn't want to watch it anymore. I didn't give up hope, and when we scored that first goal, I was like, okay, we're back in it. But it's just when West Ham started them attacks again, I started to realise, okay, it is game over. And again, it was their first win against us in the Premier League. It doesn't mean it's over. It doesn't mean it's over. We've got plenty more to prove. We've got plenty more games to go. Look, 36 more. You know what? I personally think we can still go on and beat, big side. But Newcastle, we've got to play our whole hearts out there because they've got to make us forgive them. They've got to play a much higher line of attack. We've got to, take the finishes. We can't just play like that today because... Like I say, the main thing is luring out the defence like that is never going to work. If that defence in West Ham, just take shots because, honestly, it's not worth it. Right, well, I think that's pretty much it, people. Soon we will be getting a green screen, hopefully, so we'll have a little bit more of a background instead of my bedroom light. That'll be a bit, boring to look at. Yeah. Right, wow. Anything else we have to cover? No, pretty much it, people. Well, I appreciate you coming to join me. I will do, hopefully, a match watch-along tomorrow, if there's any on Sky Sports. And I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.